Ow. What's up, everyone? Freddie Smith here. I want to talk a little bit about our privacy and our data. This is such a big topic when it comes to Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and Google and what they're doing with our data, what kind of data they have, and what it's for. And I feel like it's kind of a split discussion. I mean, there's two sides of it. Some people are upset about it, some people don't care. I kind of want to just talk a little bit about that because for me personally, I don't mind that they're gathering data. Now, I might look back at this video in 6 months or 6 years and go, oh, wow, I wasn't well enough informed or something changed. But at this current moment, from my understanding, I am not upset about websites and people collecting certain data because of the way things are these days. But to really get this started, I want to talk a little bit about Facebook and Instagram too, and bring some awareness and maybe some education to those of you who might not have looked into this or know about it. But it's important to know. And I was talking about this with someone at work today. That basically this is what's going on, and it depends on which side of this you're on. Number one is Facebook bought Instagram years ago. So Facebook and Instagram are the same company. Google bought YouTube. So YouTube and Google are the same company. So those are the two like juggernauts of today's world where they're collecting data, but they're also like going against each other because everyone's vying for people's attention. They want you on Instagram and Facebook and keep you there as long as possible so that you're not on Google or YouTube. And YouTube and Google are doing the same thing. So that's what's happening. But there's two ways to look at this. Number one, if you're using these platforms for personal gain in some way, or if you're using these platforms for just entertainment or just to keep up with your friends, it depends. And I think each platform is something different. There's a different energy when you're on Facebook. There's a different energy when you're on Instagram. There's a different energy when you're on LinkedIn or YouTube or Google. There's different things. For instance, I pretty much will always, YouTube's the biggest search engine in the world, Google too, obviously. But with YouTube, I'm more like how to blank. I don't really go to Facebook and go how to. If I want to learn how to edit, I'm going to go to YouTube and say, how do I edit a photo? So it's all for different purposes. But for someone like myself, there is a great benefit of having an Instagram and Facebook and putting out content for a couple reasons, and it's becoming more and more broad. But the number one thing that I want to help people understand is, because even the other day, me and Alyssa were having breakfast, and this guy probably in his late 60s, early 70s, me and Alyssa were on our cell phones, and we were texting across from the table. We were eating breakfast, but we weren't talking to each other. We were on our phones, and he walked by and made a joke. He's like, are you two texting each other? And we were super kind. We laughed, and we said, oh, yeah, haha, like we're being polite. But what's happening is that people aren't understanding what's really going on these platforms from a business perspective. So for me as an actor, and I've talked about this in other videos, me having an audience is important for my career. Having an audience is important if you're running for mayor, for president, for Congress, if you want to raise money for a Kickstarter, for an Indiegogo, for a GoFundMe. Having more people's attention is going to help you with that goal. Someone like myself, if you're a client, if you're looking for a client, say you're an accountant, say you're my generation, maybe different generations, me and Alyssa, we're looking, if I'm going to look for an accountant, I'm going to Google it, but I want to go on Instagram because there's this language being spoken that if someone understands social media like I do, there's this kind of like unspoken like, oh, you get it. Like you're in the know about what's happening and we have this connection. So no matter what you're really doing, whether you're doing makeup, whether you're working on cars, no matter what you're doing, my cousin works with this family, with her husband's family-owned business on these trucks, and I was talking to her because they do Facebook. I'm like, you're remodeling these lifted trucks. You could make endless content, and all of that is going to end up driving sales because when people are Googling or watching who are obsessed with trucks, they're going to go to you. And back in the day, all you really had was direct mail, maybe some billboards outside, and if you wanted to raise money, you had to go to your church or your local community, and you'd have to stick things on the tree and on the telephone poles. But these social media platforms are allowing us to reach literally 1 billion people, and you can get your voice heard. Now, with a platform that there is no restrictions and anyone can go on and do it, there is good and bad, and I'm going to get into that as well. But that is what's really going on here, is the reason that these companies are collecting your data is so they can sell to you. And that, some people look at that as negative. I look at it as positive. Here's how this works. When Days of Our Lives is on television, they have done the Nielsen ratings and however else they decide to see what demographics are watching Days of Our Lives. So when you tune in, the company produces a show, puts it on for your consumption. You're excited, you're watching it, you're like, wow. Then there are commercials. But the company has data points to know that the average person lives in this area and is typically 45 to 65 years old. So what do 45 to 65-year-old women like? That's why you see Dove commercials, or that's why you'll see a perfume commercial, or that's why you're not going to see, or maybe a toy commercial. You're not going to see men's watches because the people watching it have no interest in men's watches. If I watch Days of Our Lives and the commercials come on, those advertisers are wasting money on someone like me because they're not advertising anything that I want. But they don't have good enough data. That's why everything's moving to Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and all these other platforms, because the data is more clean and it's more clear. But that's how this works. Days of Our Lives, 2 million viewers. If I have a product, if I'm selling a wallet, I would say, so wait a minute, Days of Our Lives, so 2 million people are going to watch this commercial? Well, if you give me a 30-second spot, I'll give you $100,000 and you run my wallet ad for 30 seconds. The wallet ad runs for 30 seconds. People are aware of it. Some people go buy it, and I make $150,000. I take the $50,000 profit, I reinvest the $100,000 in tomorrow's commercial, and you keep going and going and going and going. You keep critiquing. But that's all changing because it's on Facebook now. Some of you who are Days fans, there are videos like when we do a podcast with a Days of Our Lives member, I can actually, because of the data that Facebook and Instagram has gathered, I can actually pick the United States. If you're a Days of Our Lives fan, how do they know that? Because everything you type in, every group you follow, they're getting that data. So Facebook allows you to do literally everything, like education, whether you're single, things you like. You can target down to the specifics. If I was going to go to Phoenix, Arizona, I could literally do Days of Our Lives fan, Phoenix, Arizona, within a 5-mile radius, and say it's going to be a educational seminar that I'm doing. I'll say they must be in Phoenix, they must be within 5 miles of Phoenix, they must be a Days of Our Lives fan and must be a school teacher in that area. And then there'll be 1,800 people that will come up, and I make a video going, hey everyone, I'm going to be in Phoenix to do an educational seminar. If you're a teacher, come on out. It will directly go in the feed. So while you're seeing your friend, another friend, a work thing, oh, wait, Freddie's, hey, that's Sonny from Days. What's this video? He's going to be in my hometown. What are the chances? Well, the chances are we narrowed it down to 1,800 people, and that's how you're being reached. So the same thing happens. For me, I don't get upset when you're talking about a new mattress and all of a sudden 5 mattress things come along. Well, if you're Googling mattresses, I would much rather, when I'm on Facebook or Instagram, to see an ad, I don't want to see something that I don't need. I would much rather them take the data of mattresses and put mattress companies in front of me because I'm already looking anyway. Why do I want to see like a woman's perfume? Like, I would rather see a mattress because I'm talking about mattresses. I want to buy one. So I like that they're taking the data. And I will agree, if Facebook was actually recording us in the bathroom or in the bedroom and putting it out, that's a breach of privacy. But at this day and age, what's really private? I mean, me and Alyssa are leaning way into it. We're showing you pretty much 98% of our lives. Like, we're talking about everything, but we also see the benefit of it. It's amazing that we found this education portion of it too, because I love sharing the things that we're learning, because I was never a knowledge seeker until I was 24 years old. And as soon as I found this love for learning new things, I want to share it because I watched a video like you're watching of somebody else teaching me this. So I love that I can provide this for people who want to see, but I also, on the back end, selfishly, I understand that the bigger audience that I build, the more value that I bring, that there is an actual business behind that. So when I hear all my friends who are out here, who have been actors, who have resumes like this or like this, and they're all complaining, all of them, I am not getting auditions, it's so hard, I'm broke, I don't know what to do, I can't, blah, 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 blah. They're not building their Instas seriously, Facebook. They're not running ads. They're not understanding anything that's going on. They think they've missed it. We're not even close to being started. 99% of people have no idea what's going on these platforms, and you shouldn't. The platform is for people to consume and be entertained and follow your friends. That's what it's for. But there's a billion of the 7 billion people who are doing business on it, maybe less, but you get it, that there's benefits in having those platforms. So I don't mind the privacy. I'm telling these people too, it's like I want to be able to build through advertising and different brand deals a career for myself that I'm able to continue to just create content, educate people, and be able to get paid for that service. Just like Days of Our Lives is turning profit. And they're making content like this is content, except this costs me nothing. Days of Our Lives, God knows what an episode costs to put that out, but all the advertising is paying NBC and Sony and Days of Our Lives. And then they have that much money so they can build the sets, they can pay all the people, they pay my salary and everyone else's salary. So when Alyssa and I can build our Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, blog, podcast bigger, as we continue to grow over the next 5 to 7 years, we'll be able to hire an editor, hire a personal assistant, hire a graphic designer, hire a yada, 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 yada. And what we're doing is no different than what Days of Our Lives is doing. It is the same thing. We're making content, we're putting it out. People who watch it, watch it. When it's watched and advertising's run, the company makes money, whether it's $1 or $1 million, depending on the scale. One day making $1 million making my own content would be ideal. But that is what's going on. So for people too who are like, well, they have this thing about Facebook or Instagram. Use it for what you want to use it for. If you don't want to follow like all of your friends, then you can mute some of your friends, or you can not follow people or unfollow people, or we have to set regulations. I don't think people knew in 2007, 8, 9, 10 that what was going to happen. This has become a real thing, and now those 10 years, all the negatives of the fact that people have connections to everyone, no one really understood that and put that into perspective. But now we are, and Instagram is thinking about getting rid of likes, so people can't have that self-esteem thing because it's really messing with people. And I hope they actually do it. They've tested it in a few different markets, but I really hope they get rid of the likes, because it really is having a negative impact on certain people, but that has nothing to do with the platform. It has to do with how we're handling it ourselves. It goes back to what I've been preaching about the emotional intelligence. High school, there were moments that were hard. When you're not picked for the dodgeball team or you're made fun of, that is so painful because the only equity you have is your social equity when you're in high school. So I can't imagine what it's like for high schoolers to feel left out or to feel not good enough and then have to follow all those people on social. I get it. And I even read an article, I think I have it here. It was in the New York Post. The biggest group that's being affected by it is teenage girls. There is a heightened depression. I was talking with this friend of mine at work today, and her daughter is around 12 or 13, and she's like, she doesn't have a phone, but she's going to. And I was kind of sharing some of the stuff with her that as long as she's mentally prepared and uses it in the right way and understands it, that's how we can start to feel better about it. It's like the reason Kylie Jenner is a billionaire is because of social media. I mean, she was on the back of a reality show, which reality was like looked down upon in the industry when I first got here because there was no point. You're on a reality show, you get paid peanuts unless you are the Kardashians. Now a reality show will make you famous overnight if you're prepared. Someone like Alyssa and I, if we got on a reality show that got us 1 million new people looking at us, we would know what to do with that. There are so many reality stars and people who go viral, but they're not ready for it. So then they have a 5 minutes of fame, they make a little money, and then it fizzles out. But if you're prepared for it, you know what to do. Being on a reality show is the most important thing in the world right now because of the attention. And it would be the greatest job ever. It's so crazy. Back when I did 90210 in 2010, it was great for the experience, great for the resume, great for the money. And now I'm completely irrelevant with that audience. Some people followed me on Days. If 90210 would have happened when Instagram was there, I would have carried over 300,000 to 500,000 other fans, but it happened before. So now this is the era where having a moment of getting that attention in a business or a viral video means something because of the attention. But what's going to set people aside is what you do with it. Me and Alyssa want to create content that is one of three things: inspirational, educational, or entertaining, so that it's valuable for you. Because if we're going to get paid by advertisers and it's going to grow over time, we need to provide valuable content, or you'll go watch a gazillion other things that you have. So we want to continue to be engaging, and that's why we put so much time in, because we appreciate you. You know how many people you could watch and you're spending this time with us? I'm very aware of how lucky we are. So I'm always going to treat my audience with respect and appreciation because I get that. So, but I just wanted to give you a little behind the scenes of what's going on with Facebook, Instagram, Google, YouTube, because some people are oblivious to it, and I was oblivious to it 3 years ago. I left so much money on the table because I wasn't aware of what was going on, what needed to be done with Facebook ads, with all these different things. So we're going to be continuing to make content just about these how-tos, just to continue to help people. But, you know, that's my final thing is, unless they were going to put up actual webcam videos of really inappropriate stuff of us and use it in a negative way, then of course. If they want to know what my age is and that I clicked on this app or that I went here and it's helping other businesses promote businesses that would be beneficial to me and it benefits both parties, I'm okay with that. Being able to reach people is very important. Even with our book, without social media, what would we have done? Went door to door and tried to, you know what I mean? Like, we built a brand, and that's how we were able to get our book out there. It's allowing people to be innovative. So even with Alyssa's mom, you know, she makes those mandalas that are beautiful, but she's getting sales and exposure because of this social media thing, not just a garage sale or whatever kind of booth that would be local. There are so many options for people to get their message out, to help people and to entertain, or whatever your niche may be. Or don't worry about it. Sit back and enjoy. Follow your favorites. Maybe I'm one of them. Follow one of your favorites, follow people who educate you and have fun with it, but don't get caught up in the likes and all the hype. And if you do have a young teenager, really sit down with them and explain to them what's going on and really help them have that self-esteem. So when they look at these other girls on social media, that they're not feeling bad about their bodies, that they're not feeling bad about themselves, and really help build their emotional intelligence, their self-esteem, so that they can use this social media as a tool and not have it looked at as something negative. Because I think it is something really great, and that we're very blessed to be in this era right now. There's a little bug flying around. And so that's just my whole take on it. So I hope that I've educated some of you or all of you. It depends on what you knew about all of this stuff. And drop a comment below. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like me to talk about that you're interested in, because I love doing research and learning new things. And if you liked the video, it'd be awesome if you liked if you gave us a like. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm, and this can reach more people. So I appreciate you. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll talk to you soon.